Guys, to everybody, we are Biznayak. We haven't been here for a few weeks. Sorry for that. Apologies. If you cared, maybe you didn't care. I don't know. But we are back today. Omatic, how are you doing?
I'm all right.
I
Uh,
think. Oh,
yeah, I mean, I'm all right. Can't complain.
I mean,
I
it's really
felt,
hot.
I
Heat wave
feel.
is going crazy.
Oh yeah, it is hot. I can give you that. Took a few showers in the past few, like 2 days. I feel like I've taken 6 showers.
I gotta. This is random, but how many showers is too much? Like in a like even on a day like this, like that's like really hot. And when would you be like it's even overkill for me?
Um, I don't know. I don't know if I'd have that answer. I would. I was thinking when you began your question, I was like, what if I? Because I went out. I went out about way too many times today just to do simple shit, errands, picking up people. But then I was like, what if it was like every time I go out, I took a shower? Every time I came back, shall I say? Now, on one hand, that might sound like overkill, but I think on the other hand, it's just like, bro, I'm sticky. Like, I'd rather not be sticky anymore. So I didn't take this. I think I went out like 5 times a day. I didn't take 5 showers. I literally took in about 3 showers, and I'll
Um,
probably go for another one.
no, I was just curious because I went out like the yesterday. I didn't go like I went out maybe once, and I was just like, oh my god, like I'm not going outside. Today, I had a few errands to run, so I went out here and there, and oh my god, like you stand outside for like 5 minutes, and you just start feeling like maybe not wet, but you just start feeling like a sort of a dampness to you. It's very very humid. Shit is different, wicked out here. Like if you can't find shade, I feel very bad for you. Like all my FedEx truck drivers, all my construction workers, I'm my heart goes out to you guys because it is wicked. Like it is deadly hot outside. Like my
Yeah.
daughter was like, I don't want to go outside. She was like, Daddy, it's hot. I was like, I know. Like, and that's how I know it's hot. Her ass is like, yeah, it's even too much for me. So that was yeah. I just heat wave, very wild. I had to get that off my chest or get someone's thoughts on it. The shower thing was an interesting segue for sure. 6 showers, 2 days, 3 days. Well, in 3 days that's not bad. 2 days is
Bro,
two
like
days is a little excessive.
wake up, wake up, take jump, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Then take a kid to camp or whatever. I ended up staying at camp far longer than I wanted to be,
Okay.
and unbeknownst to anybody, the air in my truck doesn't work. I feel like I've said that in the chat. Like my
Oh
air
no, I did
doesn't
not
work.
know that. That's wicked.
I have not been trying to haven't. There's no need to talk about how much it costs. I really haven't even wanted to get it fixed
I
because
feel that.
stopped. It stopped at the end of last summer, so I was like, "Fuck it!" Like I'm about to go in the fall, winter. I don't need to get it.
Oh
And then summer just creeps up on you. You get a heat wave, and you're like, "Fuck! I should have
yeah,
got
because it was it's not that it wasn't that hot. Like it was
it.
kind of,
Hasn't
but
been like
and then it comes and
it's
then it comes in.
manageable."
Okay,
Yeah, so
yeah, get that done,
yeah,
bro.
so
Get that done.
I be hot as hell. So I'm not driving, right? You won't catch me driving. Like I'm not going anywhere until it's over, whenever that
Okay,
is, bro. Fuck this.
I respect that. Like I said, we weren't here the last few weeks, and we missed a lot of things in the world, man. Like I feel as though we missed Caitlin Clark, Alyssa Thomas fiasco. We missed a bunch of Trump stuff. We missed the primaries, the results of the primaries. There's a few more things I feel as though we missed across different industries and genres. But ooh, let's go back a few weeks. I went to Detroit 2 weeks ago. Shout out to Motown. Shout out Detroit. Lovely, lovely city. Omatic likes that city a lot. I can definitely understand why. Went to a Tigers game. Did a few. Went to the Hitsville house. Did a few different things. Detroit's very lovely. Really liked it. We'll be back. Shout out P. P went to Michigan. I mean, P went to Canada. He did the drive to Windsor. which is dope. I That's my plan next time I go to Detroit is to go to Windsor. Like that's oh my God, Ronaldo World Cup. Oh, they called all sides. Oh man, the World Cup has been an amazing event too. Let's start there. The World Cup on American soil has actually been, I think, a lot better than some people may have thought it was going to be. Um, Games have been good. There's been a lot of, I would argue, a fan, uh, lot of fan involvement, excitement. But some people have said that some of it feels fake. Like there was this dude named Freddie who was from Germany who was documenting his trips throughout the United States. And at first, people were loving it. And then he went to Atlanta, and he talked about how there was parts of Atlanta that were sketchy. And then everybody started kind of like jumping in on him after that. It's very interesting where the World Cup kind of exists in people's minds. You, who are not the biggest soccer guy, have been very much so in on the World Cup. How would you explain your kind of experience with the World Cup 2026?
I mean,
Hold on, you actually went outside to watch it the other day.
literally. I think to your point, the American soil definitely um, does a little bit more. I'm not gonna say I'm a super soccer guy, but I mean I've always, I know the sport.
You're
I
a sports
know,
guy.
yeah, you know the name. You played the FIFAs and stuff like that, so the World Cup is a big deal. I don't think I really care too much for it, but I do think that it being in America, um, it's kind of cool, right? Like I'm looking at them post we're in Dallas's arena, we're in Boston's arena, and fucking Kansas City and whatever. Like that stuff has been cool. But as you said, they have been doing the watch parties and all that stuff. Like I did go down to the wharf and see it, and I was like, this is cool. But I think to the point of saying, you know, do we care now? Americans especially. It was kind of interesting to be down there to see the USA soccer fans all in unison for this. I was like, where the hell do they be at? Where are these cats at? Where's the soccer fans at? I guess
In
whenever
the
this is
U.S.
going on,
No good.
I have no idea.
So
Like it was thick down that jump, bro, and I was like, this shit
let's
is
unpack
crazy.
let's unpack this just a little bit, because you're a very observant man. What would you say was the makeup of the type of people that were down there, as far as you could decide?
Ethnicity.
Well, you could. That's what I'm saying. You could go age, you can go ethnicity, you can go gender. How would you describe the makeup?
I would say it was probably for sure a lot of male, um, but then it was like I would say 40s man. Now, what was interesting to me though was ethnicity because I don't even think it was just. You would think if you're, American hockey, you're thinking Caucasian male, and it just seemed like everybody that was just it seemed like everybody was riding, like every single person was riding that I guess is pro-American, right? But then at the same token, everybody's country is in here. You know what I'm saying? So like, why aren't you riding for? Granted, I don't know Jack from a can of paint that I was standing next to yesterday, but he didn't look like your prototypical
American.
American, whatever that could be. Blonde hair, blue eyes type cats. I'm seeing it all down there. So I was like, this is interesting to say the least. But there's a lot of elder white women as well. But again, this is the wharf, so I mean,
Not fair. No, that's a fair.
you can't, you
You
can't be
can't
like,
deduct
this
too
is
much. I get what you're
yeah,
saying.
this is not a representation of all, but that's just
No, but I
so.
think I think the World Cup, regardless of where it's at, it brings a bunch of people who maybe normally wouldn't. Maybe those people normally wouldn't even come out there. I think it's so interesting what you say about the group demographic, because I find that's exactly who it is. Like soccer in the United States is an immigrant and white people sport. So like you tend to find a lot of people like in particular like Europeans who I would argue like are not the popular Europeans. So you get a lot of non-Brits, non-French, like those type of Europeans. They love to come out for soccer games and things of that nature. Also, at least shout out to Fried Footy. When we were doing our bar series with Fried Footy, one thing I would say is that it's a lot of college age type kids, like at least um, for the Premier League and for these like kind of domestic club teams. I think international soccer brings out more of the dads because soccer is more of a rich people sport in this country. So dads, it's soccer dads, soccer moms, older people, older families who are, involved in the sport at the base level. So it makes sense that now for the World Cup, the biggest soccer event, they would be, involved because even if they don't like soccer, they're involved with soccer in a way that I don't know if other demographics, like I don't know how many black parents are just involved in soccer in the same way white parents are because more white kids I see in general will be playing soccer. Even in a place like PG County, with a lot of non-white people, when I go to like these soccer things and shit, I start to see white kids. So the World Cup is, like I said, I've enjoyed the World Cup. I thought it's been a really fun event. I like soccer, so it's not like it's just like it would be like if there was like an event for like a football, like if there was like a football world tournament, like a American football. I feel as though people would just if you're into that, you would be into that. So shout out to the World Cup. It's been doing, like I said, much better than I think. I think a lot of people thought. I think people thought it'd come to America and there'd be a bunch of this and that. But even the hydration breaks, they don't seem to be like causing that much. I know that was your bag when the tournament first started. You weren't a fan of the hydration break, but
I feel like I heard about it. Like I don't know what happened before the World Cup,
the
but that's when I
FIFA
first
Club
seen
World
it, and
Cup.
I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, and I was just like, what is this? And then it's just implemented throughout the whole thing, and I was just like, I mean, again, as I said, not new to soccer World Cup. The World Cups that I remember, there was never
yeah,
a
you're right.
hydration break. Like, what is this, bro? But at the same time, we just got a goal over here.
Yeah,
I don't know who just scored this.
Ronaldo penalty. Your
Um,
son's kid, your son's man.
James Ronaldo scored. But no, so I think the shoes really sucks. But I think that one thing I will give credit for the hydration break, though, it does seem like it has given us more time, right? Because they're adding more time now because of
Yeah.
said hydration break. So it's been giving us more ball, which I'm not mad at it at all.
Well, that's
Overall, it's
well, that's one thing I did like about the hydration break that they kept it. They keep the time running. Like it wasn't a dead clock, and that's the whole thing about soccer that the clock's always running. So to your point, they've just added all of the hydration break to stoppage time, and in theory, it doesn't really change anything because that's how soccer works. There's always been stoppage time. To your, it's just extended now. Like it's just kind of like a built-in instead of
right.
like it maybe being only a minute or two. For a fact you're getting 5 to 6 minutes of stoppage time, and that we've seen some great goals. We've seen some great experiences, and we've seen some great finishes with that in place. So, like you said, shout out to them. They getting their game in. It's funny. This is Ronaldo's first career knockout World Cup goal, which is hilarious to me because
that's wild.
he's regarded by many as if not the best player of the generation, second next to Messi, and he doesn't have that much World Cup success. Like to be that great if he is, his World Cup success is not where I think a lot of people believe it should be. Yeah, we're sorry. We keeping it up. The group chat has been going crazy for the World Cup, which is I'm actually readily surprised. Uh, I thought Mook would be here by now, but Trump Poly Market. What's your take? I know you've been somewhat tapped in to the Trump crypto nonsense? Are you? Oh, you
Actually,
haven't.
not. I've seen the. I guess that he's made the most or some shit like this out of every guy. Just backdoored a lot of cats. Like
Well, so you know he did his meme coin or whatever, and when he first did it, I think that was earlier this year. Yeah, it was either early this year or late last year. I can't remember exactly when he first did it, but he introduced the meme coin, and most people were like, "This is corrupt." Like, he shouldn't be doing this as the president, but because he gets to do whatever he wants, we kind of just let it go. Now we're getting the results back, and we're realizing, oh, he really did the meme plug, like the rug pull. Like, he really sold this token, the family tokens, to people, had people invested, and then took the money from it. Like, you have people saying they've invested $40,000 and now they have $2,000 left. Had a lady who invested $2,000 said she has $120 left. And I think the greatest thing to me was that this one stat. They said Trump out earned biggest listed U.S. crypto firms in 2025. Trump was at $1.4 billion. Coinbase, 1.26. CleanSpark, 365. Iron, Bitter, Hive, Bill Digital, all these people under $100 billion. All under 100 billion, all under $1 billion in assets. Trump ran them out. Like, there are multiple companies in the negative. Core Scientific, Hut 8, Galaxy, Bitter Farms, all negative, all running negative. It is Trump who is up 1.4 billion, and essentially that's taxpayer money. You guys earned that money and you gave it to him, and I'm just fascinated. I'm truly fascinated by this whole scenario. I don't know, you're not a super crypto guy, but I feel like you have investments, you have stuff here and there. Did you ever consider the Trump coin, or that was just never in your that was never in your bag?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no. Long story short, no.
No.
There won't be a way that I ever considered that. I mean, like you said, I'm not a super crypto bro. Um, you know, I'll be old hat here. Like, the money that I know is the money that I know. I really never wrapped my mind around the coin and stuff of that nature. Obviously, dabbled in it. No cast that dabbled in it, tried to be steered the right way, but it was just nothing that I was like, I'm gonna plant my flag on this and ride with. So, yeah, I have nothing for the Trump coin, but that's kind of wild that he ran up the billies like that. I think our crypto bros, like, his family's set for life at this point.
Oh,
Which
listen.
is crazy. Like, even more than they probably already were. Like, this is kind of wild that his jump, outperformed everybody's coin like that. It just doesn't even. It also doesn't even feel right. Doesn't feel legal. But
Well, it's not. Well,
again, I had.
that's why I like talking. Not like, this is not to be flippant or anything, but I like talking to you about the politics type of stuff, because you always come from it from a perspective of common sense. And what I mean by that is that I don't think you care too much about the politics of everything. Because there's sort of political acumen, or there's kind of a political way of thought or a way of doing things. I don't think you fall in that category. You fall into a very, does this make sense or does it not make sense? And to me, that's how most of the electorate is. We can spin this off into the primaries results. Most people who vote don't really care about policy. I would argue they just care about what you can or can't do. Somebody would argue, well, that's policy. I don't really think so. What you can or can't do is very tangible. Like, people can see you doing stuff, and that's the thing. And that's the thing about Trump. I think people aren't stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, people can see the fact that he's getting away with stuff that you're not allowed, or you shouldn't be allowed to get away with. Jimmy Carter had to sell his peanut farm. Like, like most presidents we know aren't allowed to get rich like this. A lot of people spent a whole Joe Biden presidency being like, your son is corrupt. Your son did. And I don't even think if you ask those people, they know what they believe the son did. Like if you ask them what was the crime or what was this corrupt thing that Joe Biden's son did, I think if you ask people, a lot of them would have a hard time being like, that's what he did. But for Trump, we see it every day. Like you've made $1.4 billion on a meme coin. There's no.
Was this since inception? Or
No, since just 2025.
That's wild.
Even there's a great joint of his stock trades. Trump is on pace to trade like 3,000 stock trades this year. Not during his presidency, not all over the span of this year alone. That's corruption that none of us have ever seen. And we just, like, that's what I'm saying. I feel crazy. Like, Trump has legitimately made me feel like I'm crazy because I wake up every day, as you know, around 5 or 6 a.m. There's an article or there's a tweet about something from somewhere, and I'm just like, does nobody else see that this is like? Does nobody else care? Can we not do anything? Like, what is going on? And that's why I think I enjoy the group text because nobody really responds to me at that time of day. So it's just me and my thoughts. It's literally just me and my thoughts sending out. So like, I just send it out, and every now and then I'll get a damn, that's crazy, or somebody might engage with the actual. But for the most part, it's just me kind of getting it off, and then coming, then it's like the sun comes out, and then it's all right. It's a new day, like the day has started. So I've gotten all my shit out without having to like feel as even more crazy than I already am. But
very inconsiderate of you.
You'll be up too. Like, that's a kill. Like,
so what?
That's
Nigga,
what I'm
you
saying.
just like, oh, the sun is out. Now I'm gonna go about my day. Like, what if I'm not up? Like, this is how I have to start my day when your new day has already begun. Like, you're already on your second day. And this is what I'm getting awoken to. Like,
yeah, but it's good. It's honestly, isn't it good? Isn't it good information? Like you act like it'd be different if we were just. I could be sending shade room as text I'll be sending stuff that is worthwhile.
I actually appreciate that more because I actually hate that. I hate the shade room stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
At least I can get a little bit informed about.
That's all I'm saying.
To shit the world is going to.
Also, I've been trying to send more particular stuff for different type of cats. So, like, if you peeped the other day, I sent the JFK, the very particular JFK, because I know that's your bag. And then also, the JFK bag was connecting to the larger Trump stuff that we have been talking about. So it was like, all right, this one could work for everybody. Everybody can get a little news in and enjoy themselves. Speaking of primaries, it looks like Wes Moore looks like he won the primary for the Democrat nomination governor, but they've been on his ass since he won. I don't know if you've peeped. Like, there's been a lot of. I sent a few of those, but there was this one group in particular who was like his military service. Like, they're really going hard at him for lying about the Bronze Star, I believe. I don't know exactly. I would love to get your cousin's thought process on it as a military person. Like, does he like? Because that's what I'm saying. I wonder, do people actually care? Like me, I've never been in the military, so I'm not really moved in any strong way about the military like that. So like, he said he was in it. I've seen pictures of him in it. I mean, like, I don't. Like, people talk about, like, they went to war, and then you learn later, like, they just sat in the office across the world, versus there's other cats who was, like, on the front line, putting work in. So I just don't know what to believe with Wes. I just don't really know what to believe with Wes Moore. And also, like, people really feel strongly about him. also another goal by Croatia. People really feel like strong about offside. It's been a lot of offsides calls this game. Like
I'll give you that. It's been a lot of offsides
in general,
the whole one. Yeah, I was
They
like,
said
this is crazy.
they said they're trying to make a new rule that will change exactly how they call offsides. It's interesting, but Westmore though, a lot of people have been like not just his military service and that, but they've been going hard against like him basically not doing much for Maryland. And as someone who I wouldn't say I haven't been paying attention, but I just be going about my life, and every now and then, certain things in politics make me pay attention. But the key bridge, that was the one thing that I've seen people recently bring up that I will say has somewhat changed my mind about how I feel about Westmore. That bridge got messed up. What? 3 years ago at this point? 2023, 20.
Feels like 24.
Okay, 24, 23, somewhere around there. He's made no headway. Like
Yeah.
that
March of 24.
March 24. So 2+ years at this point. He's made no headway. Like I haven't heard any. And when a lot of people started bringing that up, I started saying, "Damn, they're kind of right." Because to me, there's certain things that everybody in positions of leadership have to do to prove that they're worthwhile. When you're the governor, you have to do larger state issues. Like you have to fix those issues. That bridge is a larger state issue. You need to make Baltimore has like the lowest homicide rate in I guess their history. That's great. That's a really good thing. That's a very much so a very particular That's not a Maryland issue. That's a Baltimore city. That key bridge, that is your job. Like you're the governor. It's your job to handle that. They said Maryland has. There was this one particular foundation that does education rankings. They said Maryland had fell. At one before Maryland was at 13. I think at the most recent rankings, Maryland's at 20. This is after last year. Moore put a bunch of investment into childcare into the state. I'm willing to give him some time on something like that to just see how it plays out. Because 1 year, I don't think is enough to make. I don't think it's enough to make definitive declarations about his child care policy. But I do think it's very telling that you've had 2+ years to make headway on this bridge and you've done nothing. Now, Westmore, he's obviously trying to do more than just be the governor of Maryland. Like everyone has peeped him. He's trying to set himself up for national office in some way. He probably won't win because if you can't get a bridge fixed in your own state, people probably don't want you to, run the country as a whole. But that's neither here nor there. But Democrats, have you seen anything about this DSA? Democrat Socialist of America or whatever. Basically the Mamdani cats. All right.
Interesting though.
Yeah, so primaries, New York, Mamdani, you know who Mamdani is, Mayor of New York. He endorsed a few different people in the primaries in NYC, and the people he endorsed were not establishment Democrats. They were how people would call them Democratic Socialists. And I think 2 of his 3 recommended candidates, they won, beating incumbents. And there's been like this larger question about socialists, capitalists in the Democratic Party, blah, blah, blah. What do you think about the idea of socialism? Are you like, I always like to hear, once again, cats who are very sensible cats, how do you feel about, are you a socialism bad, commune, or do you even care?
I think I think I more so lean towards the I don't care when it comes to the socialism. I actually wanna what is
I'm about to
socialism?
say I want you to. I want you to Google
Socialism.
how you see it
What
because
is a socialist?
after you do the definition, I'm gonna give you my take.
Hmm. Hmm. That's interesting. So, all right. Before asking me this, like, who is be the socialist or socialism portion of whatever right now, as I'm looking at this definition.
So I would
Like,
argue.
where are the battle? I mean, obviously, I see what the battle would be, but what's like a battle at this point?
So I just recently saw that in Denver, there was a candidate who went up against an incumbent who was apparently an establishment member. That lady was a Democrat. Oh, that was was an establishment lady. The lady who she ran against and won was a DSA. I would argue that as far as like ideology, it's things like housing for all, Medicaid for all, childhood, early childhood education, those type of things. It's very much so programs that the government does to help its citizens, or yeah, programs that are government sponsored for the citizens.
So,
Is that what you're?
yeah, I mean, so I guess my question would be, why would people be like, who are the people that is against that?
Oh well, okay. See that once again. That's why I like you because you're a sensible cat. Who would be against?
It sounds like the bigger corporations would, I guess, be against that because it sounds like funding would be the issue here,
Well, see,
ultimately.
that's one thing. I actually do think that's a very practical because, if you live in this world or this country, you'll ask, well, who's gonna pay for it? That's a question everybody asks all the time, which is a fair question. Only if you apply it to everybody and everything. Prime example, the White House is currently building. Every time I look up, they're building something new at the White House. Like they're doing some sort of construction at the White House. Who is paying for that?
Exactly.
And that is my only issue with people in general because people have no people. It's a fair question. Who is going? If you say we're going to do pre-K for everybody in my state, child care, the next question is, all right, who pays for that? Because childcare, is very expensive. So if we're gonna mandate that all children, under 5 or 3 through 5, have to be somewhere well, how do we fund that? Who pays for that? Very fair question. I don't see those questions. I readily, I rarely see those same questions being asked about, well, who's funding all these renovations at the White House. So to me, if you're gonna ask one, fine, but you have to ask the other. Now, for a, like a city like New York, what Mondani has done was he's gotten the state Albany to give New York City back money that they have paid in taxes because New York City pays more taxes to the state of New York than the rest of the state. Buffalo, Worcester, all so he went to the state and got the money back. That's the thing with a place like Maryland where DSA is going to have a hard time in a place like Maryland, in my opinion, because our big city, Baltimore, they don't have the same issues New York have. They're not fighting the same sort of financial like is housing an issue? Housing is an issue in every major city in this country. That's not, but it's not to the extent of New York. Is affordability an issue in not to New York? So different states and different places they call for different sort of actions. The people in New York, they have rent controlled apartments in New York is a very much so a thing. When I lived in literally when I first got to New York in 2016, it was people who were like, "Yo, you better try to get a rent controlled apartment." I'm like, "What are you talking like that?" if you're that's a whole thing. Like that's not is that a thing over here? In our it's not. So you're not going to be able to as a politician, you're not going to be able to kind of push that agenda isn't going to work the same way it will work in New York. So you got to hit something different, and that's the biggest issue I think Democrats, socialists have is that their message doesn't work across their platform or across their base. It works in very specific pockets, and now they need a national like Kamala Harris. She can't run a Mondani type of platform because she needs people in Iowa. She needs people in the Deep South. Mondani can do all that shit in New York City. That Mondani shit is probably not working in Alabama. It's probably not working in the heart of Texas. But to your point, who would be against making groceries cheaper, making housing more affordable, making sure that children have access to early education? In theory, nobody would be against that, right? But if you call it socialism, Americans hate socialism. So that's all you have to do is call these things something, and then it ruins the whole vibe. So, you're a smart man, and I think you could get to people. I feel like you should have more what is socialism talks, because I feel as though people who are hardline socialists or people who come across like that don't get the message across to people. But I feel like people like yourself who just wouldn't consider themselves a socialist, you've asked the right questions and you've come to I think the same conclusions that I have.
Would you say there's a large population of socialists, I guess is the term for them?
Yes, I think most Americans are socialists. They just don't understand that. When you call the fire department, do you call them directly or do you call 911 and somebody comes? That's a socialist program. That's the thing. Like you Americans have to kind of be handheld for a lot of things. You have to tell them, you have to walk them step by step. So like I said, most Americans, they believe in socialism. They like socialism. They enjoy it when it's beneficial to them. Literally, I seen Donald Trump tweet out, oil companies bring down gas prices. That is like literally that is a socialist concept. So I don't like that's the thing. People don't dislike socialism. They dislike the idea that they're not in control. So that's what people in America don't like. They don't like the idea that they cannot control something. Like there was I just saw the White House deleted on their page, on the White House official page, that the portion of turning your thermostat down between 75 and 78. They took that off of one of the White House pages because Mondani was telling people that the White House said it. He was directing people to go to the White House page where the White House says, turn your thermostats between 75 and 78 to, save energy. The White House deleted it. Like this is the type of country we live. We live in a country full of idiots, and we need to do a better job of being like, this country is full of idiots. Like, because if we don't, we're gonna get to the point where Trump is gonna make $1.4 billion. All his cronies are gonna get rich as hell, and then when nobody has anything else, everyone's gonna say, "How did we get here?" Everyone's gonna ask, "Oh, how did this happen?" Oh, I don't understand. No, you definitely understand. You're just too stupid enough to realize it. So I want more people to call people stupid, because like that is stupid. It is a very stupid thing to do, and if you don't say it, we all become part of it. Like this is not, to me, it just doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't make sense at all. Yeah, that was a beautiful game winner. We do have 6 minutes left though, so we still have more stoppage time. Yeah, still more stoppage time. And then the war. Trump is gonna start back the war. It's whatever. I I'm over that war because no. I'm so serious. I'm over that war because he waits until every Friday around between 4 and 6 p.m. when the markets close, to make some sort of decision, to say something about the war. Then Sunday night between like 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern, he does something else again to try to manipulate the markets for opening at 9 a.m. And then Monday through Thursday, it's just a bunch of maybe something will happen, maybe it won't happen. And then Friday, we do this again. I'm tired. And I said here, that's no way for it. As someone who, I used to be not every day, but I used to look at my portfolio for a pretty decent amount just to, be like, this is what's going on. I don't look at that shit no more because that should be a bloodbath. Like, every day, that should be a bloodbath. And then when the shit do go green, it's only because he said some nonsense. Buy IBM. This is a great company. And then you look and you're like, oh shit, we're having a great day. You come back 2 days later, the shit, like, I'm over all of it. Like, truly over it. Truly over it. Like, I have nothing for it. And that's what I'm saying. When I tell you, to talk about something earlier, I feel crazy, bro. You wake up and you see this stock has gone up 40%, and you're like, what the hell happened? And then you find out, oh, Donald Trump was at a rally and said to go get it. What? Doesn't that defeat everything they have taught you about stocks, Omatic? I'm tired, and like,
I promise I'm in the same bag. It used to be, I feel like, I don't even remember how long ago. It had to be a few years where niggas was definitely checking their jumps like every day, every other day. Like, oh yeah, this jump, you know what I mean? Yeah, nah. Bro, I haven't looked at my shits in probably consistently, you know what I mean? I check in maybe not even like monthly for real for me at this point, bro. I'm just like,
bro, since the start of the year, I've probably checked like 3 or 4 times.
Like, yeah, I'm just
we're in month 7. And I'm like, I'm not looking at that shit. Like, come on, bro.
I'll just be like, oh, that's cool, but
type shit. Whatever. Move, good nap.
Yeah, for sure. I apologize, everyone.
No, listen, we didn't even have a show last week because I was napping. So like, shit happens.
For sure.
You didn't miss much. We're doing a little bantering about politics, both local and
national.
Local and national and geopolitical. What else we talk about, Omatic? Oh, some weather, hot as hell outside.
That's why I was napping, bro. Shit.
No, real shit. Some footy banter.
Yeah.
World Cup. But we got about 20 minutes or so we're gonna get into this some WNBA, some sports talk because we didn't do the sports, so you missed the politics. Also, just heads up, are y'all gonna pod next week? Because I'm being Houston next week. Are y'all podding? Y'all should pod next week. I'll come in on the pod, but I won't but I'll come in for like 20, 30 minutes while I'm in Houston.
No matter what you're trying to do.
I mean, as long as I've been doing a lot of surprise sporting events, so as long as I don't pop up at one, you know what I mean?
I say he was at the O's game the other day.
Yeah, man, you got somewhere to go win coming up, right? When the next round, L birthday.
Yeah, that's
the next planned one.
I randomly bought tickets to the game Monday. So
See, I was gonna say Monday, but
might fuck around though. But nah, I mean, shit, I don't got nothing on the schedule. We can do the Thursday.
Nice. But that's where we've been at. But WNBA. So, like I said, we missed the week where Caitlin Clark, Alyssa Thomas, neck in the hand in the neck, whatever, blah blah blah. Alyssa Thomas gets the flagrant 2 upgraded, and then she's suspended for a game. It should be noted that I don't think the Fever have played since. They played one game, which Caitlin Clark didn't play because of a bad back, and they haven't played a game since. So I think that was last Saturday was the last time the Fever played.
Yeah, because they had the Commissioner's Cup the other day.
Yeah, Tuesday night, no games Wednesday. games back today. Here's my thing with the Caitlin Clark thing. Are there racist people who support Caitlin Clark just because she's Caitlin Clark? Yes. This is the United States of America. There are racist people who support stuff because they're racist. Like, that is how this works in America. If you are polarizing, if you are, I hate to be this guy, but like, do y'all don't think some Josh Allen fans is mad racist? Like, and this is not to like, we be trolling Omatic and shit, but like, do people not think that like American football fans of like particular people aren't racist?
Yeah, even with I was going to say Matthew Stafford, but yeah.
Yeah, I hate Matthew Stafford, so I don't want to do that. So because my hate is just pure, ethical hate.
What your Josh Allen hate is what?
My Josh Allen hate is a mix between being condescending and then doing what I feel as though is not done. Even in the playing field, because my issue with Josh Allen is not that he turns the ball over. Like growing up, my favorite quarterback was Brett Favre.
Yeah,
Mr. Sling that, throw that ball across his body in like 4 interceptions in a game, but 4 touchdowns. So once again, I am not. That's not even how I enjoy football. To be like, you turn it over. I don't give a fuck. My issue is that why is Josh Allen allowed to do that and still be considered one of the best quarterbacks in the league? But when someone like Cam Newton was doing it, it was always dissecting and asking why he's this, why isn't he as good as this, that'd be my issue.
Yeah, so your shit not personal, it's more so the coverage of said player.
It's the reason why I go hard for Lamar. Lamar's not my quarterback.
At all.
By no stretch. But I see how people talk about Lamar. I see how Lamar's shortcomings are about him not being smart enough, this and that and that. But other cats' shortcomings are about everybody else. That'd be my issue in particular with sports is the consistency. Oh my God! Croatia with the game tying go. Listen, the World Cup has been fucking amazing.
That's sporting event.
You're muted.
I just turned it off.
Wow.
Turn it back.
You have to turn it back. Oh, but like I said, that's what I do. That's why I feel so strongly about someone like Lamar, because I've grown up where there ain't been black quarterbacks in the league. Like when like you had, what was my man from Jason Campbell? When like Jason Campbell was a black, and like you had to be like, all right, man.
Like, I said Cordell Stewart.
Well, Cordell Stewart was good. Like Jason Campbell was mid, super mid, and you had to just be like, hey, it's my quarter. He's black.
Mid might be
nice. You know what I'm saying? Like when Donovan, Donovan Mitchell and Michael Vick were like the quarterback, and it was only them two. Now it was.
Shout out to Quincy Carter, man. Good luck.
Dante Culpepper, Dante Culpepper is probably a better example of like a guy who was like, he had some highlights, but if he was a white quarterback, his highs they would have loved his highs. The niggas would have treated him like he was some sort of
Ben Roethlisberger with no ring.
Bro, like they would have loved him, but his lows, everybody had to pick on. So for me, I'm black. I resonate. I see that. I was a guy who played quarterback when I was fucking in KLM, 85, 95. So because of that,
we played against each other, right?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. So for me, like, I get that. So to bring this back to Clayton Clark, I get when there are women, in particular black women, who are like, this girl, but say it.
Bruce campaign.
But be honest, you see how I've been like, the reason why I'm going hard for Lamar and them is because of the relationship that into the media how they get treated versus other white quarterbacks, own it. Say that. It don't have to. And you see how none of this is about Josh Allen or Matt Stafford. It's about the people around. It's about, and they took the goal off because of the
offsides.
Nasty.
That's been my beef with the World Cup. Not to say
no, we've been saying that.
The on-call shit,
offside
shit.
Yeah. So for me, like that's my bigger thing when it comes to the Caitlin Clark thing is that everyone is, if we're being honest, everyone understands that. But her in particular, Caitlin Clark, the 24-year-old girl from Iowa who plays for the Indiana Fever, she is a very unique person because she's good. Like I don't care how you try to slice it. The number says she's one of the best players in that league. I didn't say she was the best, but the numbers say she's she's top 5 in scoring, top 5 in assists.
Historically,
that's what I'm saying. Like her numbers, she's contributing, I think, 39 points per game, points and assists. That would be the highest ever in the history of the WNBA. Not one season. Any season played, she would have contributed the most points scoring and assists for any player ever. Once again, we sat up here when Verb was here and we talked about, like, she has flaws. Her turnovers are a bit. This is a legitimate. She has sometimes a very bad shot selection. These are fair and legitimate critiques of the girl's game. To sit up here and act as though she's not one of the at least top 10 players, to me, is asinine. Like it's an asinine thing to do, and then to do it and then try to be like justify it off of some like it's just we're just talking basketball. It's even more ridiculous to me. Just say you don't like the girl. Like I think a lot more people will respect I just don't like her face.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's a fair thing. Like the WNBA voting results came out. The players voted her 11th best guard. 11th. Once again, I wasn't even tripping off of that, right? Because I was like, they could do whatever they want. Jackie Young was 14th, my nigga.
Huh? Who was number 1?
Paige.
Let's guard.
The player ranking.
Just guards.
Once again, I will double check, but I wanted that they did front court. They did front court and back court. So
who's still in batters, bro?
Player ranking. I'm gonna go through the guards player ranking.
We all perplexed right now.
Paige Buckers, and this is what the players rank. Paige 1, Ryan Howard 2,
she's not a
Olivia Miles 3.
She's a hold on. Ryan Howard's a guard.
Maureen Mabry 4.
Since what?
Sonia Citron 5. Sonia and Mabry tied for 4. Alicia Gray 6. Kelsey Mitchell 7. And then Caitlin Clark at 11. Jackie Young at 14. Kelsey Plum at 12.
Huh?
And Aziza Fudd at 28. Now look, like I said, you don't gotta think Caitlin Clark is whatever. It's whatever.
She's not number 11.
I need 10 guards better than her. I need 10.
This gotta be off of last year.
No, it's this year.
Hey Charles,
Kelsey,
don't give fuck what you say the criteria was.
Kelsey Plum was 12. Jackie Young was 14.
Hey,
Like leading the league in points right now. Like what are we
bro? And so when you
and Marina Marbury's can't be far behind.
Marina was 4th.
literally
The players rank Marina. You try to tell me. I love Marina.
saw the 53. It was
I love Marina. Marina.
She had like a 3-game stretch where she was going.
Marina's having a career season. This is the best basketball she's played since she's got to the W. There is no denying that. You're trying to tell me that she's having a better season than Caitlin Clark? You trying to tell me she's having a better season than Kelsey Plum?
I ain't say that.
You try to tell me you have better season than Jackie Young?
Nobody said
And that be my problem with a lot of WNBA discourse. It don't be about basketball. It be about butt buddies and their fucking agendas. Like that's what it is. Like Courtney Williams, I didn't see her name. She's easily one of the top guards this season. What are we talking? Like that be my thing.
Shout out to the Stubbs.
So then when I get on the internet and I'm like, y'all can't be serious. You don't watch the WNBA. No, bitch, you don't watch the WNBA. That's the real problem. You don't watch the WNBA. I'm the one who actually watches. That's the issue here. You don't watch. I do. That's the problem. If you watch, we wouldn't be having these conversations.
We're watching right now.
Bro, like it's just baffling to me how people talk about the league, because once again, a lot of it is because of the way they talk about Caitlin Clark. Like, if you watch sometimes the way people talk about a WNBA game, I would be like, that wasn't the game you just watched. Like, there's no way we all watch the same game.
I do that with basketball. Period. At this point, men and women.
The thing about the men is that the nerds have. We're gonna get to the men very quickly. The nerds have ruined the NBA. And
We've been saying that for 3 years, bro.
The nerds have ruined the basketball in the worst ways. And it's not. And here's the thing: it's not about analytics. I hate when people try to use that, because the idea of like a hacker shack is an analytical. It's an analytical concept. This guy is killing us in the paint. He's so much better than us, and we can't stop him. So let's put him to the free throw line where he's not good. That way we have more chances to get more. Like, people have been doing analytics or the thought or the ideology of analytics for a very long time. Like,
shit. Jaylen Brown, force him left. Analytics.
Like, even the idea
not
of
as good going left.
The idea of the 09 Orlando Magic with Dwight Howard and 4 guards and just shoot, that is an analytical like, no one who actually has played basketball or likes basketball doesn't think that these things happen or work together. The issue is when you have white nerds
Turkoglu playing point guard against the Lakers.
Once again, the issue is when you have white nerds trying to tell people, don't take mid-range jump shots because that's a bad shot. That is the issue.
The worst take in NBA history.
The issue is when you have white nerds telling people, well, Jaylen Brown isn't that good of a player because his plus minus that, and then following that up with Derek White is the best player on. That is the issue. The issue isn't the actual analytics. The issue is the points that they the points that they derive from it. I love Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic is a basketball savant. When you watch him play, it's like, if you actually like basketball, it's something very beautiful about this big man being able to see the court, do all the things he does, blase.
Shit, don't be confused.
The nerds will have you believe that because he rebounds at a very high rate, that he's a good defender. Like, literally, when you try to say that Nikola Jokic is a bad defender, they're like, well, he's not because of DPM, DRPM, And all of that is that he gets rebounds, which is, don't get it twisted, getting a rebound is the most valuable part of a defensive possession. Fair. Once you get a rebound, that ends a defensive. A defensive possession doesn't end until someone gets a rebound. So there's no denying the importance of that. I have fucking eyes. The man don't play no fucking defense. He don't play defense in the post, and when you put him out, and when he has guards or wings on the perimeter, he don't move his fucking feet. What are we talking about here? But he does grab a lot of rebounds. That is very true.
He doesn't force the shot that leads to
he doesn't
shot.
He's so, like, for all the shit about Wemby's perimeter defense is ass too, very much so. But he can change shots. He'll run out and legitimately change shots. Jokic doesn't do that. I've watched enough Jokic to know that's not what he does. But that doesn't take away from Jokic's greatness. But you let these fucking nerds tell it, oh, he's a plus on defense. No. That's my point. This be my whole point. There is nothing wrong with using numbers to like, because it's the thing. These white nerds have convinced themselves that they're the only ones who understand the numbers, and they're the only ones who understand what these things mean. No, most of us understand that we just fucking like basketball. We don't like spreadsheets, and that be the issue. You can be an analytics person and like basketball. No one is telling you don't. Once again, the telling people to shoot corner threes is literally an analytic based concept. It's the closest to the basket, furthest from the. Once again, no one is saying don't do that. No one is saying don't do that. What our people are saying is that if you got a nigga who can get a midi and is hot on this game, let him take middies. Going 8 for 10 from the mid range is better than going 3 for 10 from the 3-point line.
Analytically.
And 8 for 10 is crazy. So going 6 for 10 for the 3-point, going 6 for 10 from the mid range is much better than going 3 for 10 for the 3-point line. Like,
nah, that's what Joker be doing. Joker be going 8 for 10 and then be like, what, 2 for 5 from 3 or some shit?
Yeah, and 2 for 5 from 3 is great.
9.
But 2 for 9 is not. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just talking about a half, baby. Just a half.
I'm just saying, like, for me, like, I just really hate the idea that, if you aren't analytics, we just like fucking basketball. If we wanted to do analytics, we'd all do math homework more. We just do more math homework. We do more algebra. I do for deductive reasoning, all this. No, we just want to watch people. I want to see niggas get yammed on. That's what I want to see. That's the basketball I like. Yes, and I don't care. I call it what you want. I don't care. If Derek White is your idea of like a really great player, I don't like your basketball. I don't like anything your basketball has to say. And this is all shade to Derek White. Derek White is a good basketball, but this is all shade to Derek White. As a consumer of basketball, if Derek White is the guy you are trying to sell me on as Himothy, I don't like anything your basketball says.
At all. Matter of fact, I don't even want to talk sports with you, period. Like any sport. It could be Batman, my nigga. I don't want to talk to you about sports. Because I didn't want to believe that Brian Windhurst clip was real. And then I see a clip of literally every basketball sports podcast talking about it, and I'm like, there's no way somebody from the Boston Celtics, literally, like you said, Charles, watched the same basketball that we watched last year and said that skinny half-breed, if he half-breed, is better than Jaylen Brown. Then they said he had his worst statistical year, I believe. And they tried to say that he was better.
My issue in particular with the JB stuff.
Is this a Josh Allen thing again?
Here's my issue with the JB stuff. Sports are meant to be played to win. That's what sports you play sports to win. How you win? We could go back and forth about what is and what is not. But you play sports to win. Since JB and Jason Tatum have been in the NBA together, all they have done is win. They've been to an NBA Finals. They've won an NBA Finals. They've been to, I think, 6 conference finals. 5 or 6 Eastern Conference Finals. They're winners. Like, that's what you play basketball to win. In the 1 year where JB didn't have Jason Tatum, he just helped the team win 57 games and get to the second seed in the Eastern Conference. Was so good all season that at the end, you guys decided to bring back Jason Tatum and try to, not ruin, but try to get him into this team and do something different so that you can make a push for the championship. Fine, whatever. I have spent over 70 games, because I think Tatum came with like what? It was like 12, 15 games left in the season? Something around there. We had a full season of seeing Jaylen Brown lead the Celtics and win games. Like, there's no maybe. No, we watched it. We all watched last year, right? Jaylen Brown was the leader of the Celtics team when they went and they won 57 games, correct?
He was top 5 in MVP voting all year.
Yeah. So because of that, we know what's what. So for me, it is what it is. And it just baffles my mind that we are at the point right now where we're trying to convince ourselves that guys who win and are good at basketball are not good at basketball because some number says so. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. And I'm done with all of the concepts. Anything else we need to talk about?
Not at all. I would just like to apologize to our audience if we have any.
They'll see it. They love us. They'll be back next week. If you guys,
I think we've decided we're going to do it Thursday.
all right. I'll see you boys next week in Houston. Let me know. Y'all gotta let me know because I'll be following y'all routine. So y'all let me know, and I'll see y'all.
Also, be an hour behind.
Listen,
well,
I'm here for y'all. Y'all know I'm here for y'all.
Shit, I'm in the same. I'm not far from you all currently, and I was an hour behind.
All right, y'all. Peace. Stay black. Stay lovely.